Hello everybody, it's me, GhostCritic, and we're here with my Sunday comic book review video. Thank you for joining me. This will probably be an incredibly short review video. If you've seen my video on Wednesday, you will know that there were only 2 books on my pull list, and kind of disappointing, but I didn't see anything else that I really wanted to pick up that week, and I guess it was kind of nice to have a short week after 2 big long ones, but 2, that's a little bit too small. However, I have 2 books to talk to you about, so just to remind you, spoiler warnings ahead of time. I'll be talking about the storylines, the cliffhangers, the character progressions, all that good stuff. So if you've not read either of these 2 books yet, stop the video, go away, read them, come back and watch. And I will greet you back with open arms. So let's crack on. I'm going to start with The Woods, issue number 32. We've got James Tynion IV and Michael I can never pronounce his last name. I always want to say dialysis, and it's clearly not that. It's Dialness. Maybe someone could help me with the pronunciation. But anyway, I finally found out this is going to end with issue 36. So we have 4 more issues to go. And I guess this is a kind of culmination to this, I guess, last story arc where everything hopefully will be wrapped up and all the answers and the reasons for all this happening will be revealed. What I actually love about The Woods, and it's a book that's had a bit of a rocky road with me, is that it employs the use of the kind of flashback very, very well, especially in fleshing out our main characters. And they've done it many times along the way, and it hasn't really got that boring or predictable, because, as I said, it does kind of enrich these characters and give them a sense of why they are the way they are, their characterization. And here we have predominantly Karen, our kind of leader warrior of the children that have been abducted to this alien kind of war planet, and we see her hesitant characteristic coming through, and where it's kind of all come back from her childhood and her kind of hunting trips out with her father, and then it kind of pushes on to the next point where, you know, she's always wary about the decision she makes and if she is going to make the right one, which stops her from kind of doing what needs to be done. In this issue, it's kind of a 2-pronged storyline, really. I guess you could say the main one is the culmination of her battle with Taisho, where she originally came to kind of join forces against this kind of alien planet and the kind of artificial intelligence, I guess you call it, and trying to overthrow that. But what transpires is this big battle, I guess you'd say, or fight between the 2 of them, with Taishu really pushing Karen to her limits and ensuring that she will be the one to lead both forces together, and hopefully giving a future to not only Karen's friends, all her school companions, but everyone else who lives and has inhabited this planet. So will she have the willpower, the leadership skills to do this? Well, I guess we're going to find out in the next and last 4 issues. The other kind of secondary storyline going on in here is Ben and Sander, who we'd seen at I think it was the end of last issue, a whole horde of these kind of alien ogre type creatures coming to kill them. But they get rescued by an unlikely ally. Yes, Isaac is back, and he has got a bit of a power set increase, as I'll show you in just a moment when I give you a few pages in here. But his power set has certainly grown, and he just kind of basically almost waves his hand and kills everyone. But it's again the relationship with Ben and Isaac, which has been again rocky from the very beginning. Ben, much unrequited love from Isaac, as Isaac's got googly eyes for someone else. And they kind of got close, but obviously Isaac's been taken over by this kind of green artificial force. I'm not even sure whether it's kind of good or bad, or what its real purpose is. And that's kind of been a slight problem for me with Tinian's writing, that it's not always been made clear kind of who are the good guys and who are the bad. And I know there's always that sense of there's grey areas, but one moment it's kind of like it feels like this green stuff, this alien artificial intelligence is incredibly bad, but the next it kind of has these moments of morals, I guess you could call it. But it all seems a little bit too much too little, if I can say that. As I've said in previous videos about The Woods, Tinian kind of builds up the story far too long to get to this peak, and then the peak is over like that, and it just comes crashing back down again, and Tinian has to build the storyline back up again, and you kind of forget what has gone before and the purpose and the reasoning, and was it just kind of a throwaway moment to get to the next part of the story, which I think has been a big failure for this book. Although, you know, I've enjoyed it. It's that kind of sci-fi abduction, weird planet type of storyline that I like. I just want to finish off talking about Michael's artwork in here, because he also does the colouring, and it's very good. From the kind of the green kind of pastel-y haze of this kind of fighting arena that that Karen and Taishu draw in, to these big double-page spreads of, as you see, that's Isaac with his power set just that little bit bigger. You can really do the big moments as well. So he has to be commended on that, in making this at least a very visual, exciting book to look at, and certainly keeps the pace of that particular page, or that particular title and issue ongoing, and really pushing it forward if the story does kind of try and hold it back a little bit. But 4 issues to go. I'm kind of looking forward to seeing this ending and wrapping up. Hopefully Tinian can do a good job in kind of knotting all those individual threads together. I'm not necessarily thinking of a happy ending, but I want an ending. So the only other book I got this week, and I guess you could call it my pick of the week, as there usually is one, is Brian K. Vaughan and Cliff Chang's Paper Girls, and this is issue number 14. And last issue we saw one of the girls, KJ, she touched this alien structure building thing, diamond, and she saw flashes of the future, hopefully bringing up new storylines and character developments. Of course, the thing that everyone's talking about is KJ and Max kissing. That's the flash forward, the future flash that stands out to a lot of people. But in this issue we have finally all the girls back together again, and the latest threat is obviously these cavemen that have found these future artifacts, the space helmets, and all the kind of technology paraphernalia that they've somehow found, and they are after our little warrior girl's baby, this young lady here, because apparently one of them, if not all 3 of them, are the father, in a kind of tribal, kind of ceremonious way, I guess. Part of their culture is for 3 people to basically have sex with one person, and this will create a baby, and they want that baby back, and they want it bad. And at the moment they've caught and captured the scientist from the future. I think you pronounce it Quanta, Quanta, and it's up to the girls to try and rescue her. And that is again KJ into the fray, dragging, kind of distracting them away and getting them to chase her. And it kind of gives her a moment as she's running away to kind of think about what those flashbacks mean to her, and obviously the kiss. And there's a nice little moment where, you know, she's kind of jumping over this big crevice, because she's got these kind of anti-gravity boots on, I guess you'd call them, as she escapes from the cavemen. And there's just this like kind of little, and she's thinking about the kiss and what that means, and there's just this lovely little kind of aside to herself right at the very bottom where she just goes, oh, that's why. And it's there's almost this kind of realization that, you know, or maybe she's gay. And it would explain a lot. That's kind of reading a lot between the lines, but there was that moment of almost the kind of epiphany to her about her life. And that's what's great about Brian K. Vaughan's characterizations of all these girls, is that he really, in a way, looks after them. And so he should, as the writer of this book, and gives them the time and the scope and the storylines for each of them. I know it sounds a bit strange, but for each of them to develop just on their own, as well as in the group, and the kind of girls bonding together, because, you know, one of them they don't really know, but they've all come together and they're all kind of working together and being there for each other. It's a great little book. This may sound kind of contradictory, but there's kind of two bits that are my only little niggles about it. Is that, one, the storylines do seem to drag out a little, but at the same time, every issue of Paper Girls of late has been very quick reads. Yes, there's a lot going on, but not so much in the way of actual dialogue storyline telling. It's all very visual, and Cliff Chang is to be much praised for his work on this. I very much enjoy his artwork. He's certainly using not only these kind of like very pastel-y shades of colour in the book, because he does do really well. If you look on these multi-panel pages, there's a lot of detail in there as well, which shouldn't go unsaid, but there is that kind of juxtaposition between the slow moving storyline to the very actual quick read that these issues make. So you've got to take the good with the bad, I guess. But I do love Paper Girls. It's a very well written, for the most part, book, and very, very nice to look at. So that's Paper Girls issue 14. And I am afraid that's it this week. A very short video. Usually they are much longer. I know I've got a few more books than last week to pick up on this coming Wednesday, so I hope you all check in on Wednesday to see what books I'm going to pull, and on next Sunday you will see me talk about them. So if you are new to my channel and you've been checking out my videos and you finally made the decision, hit the red button, hit the red subscribe button, and join in the conversation in the comment section down below. And don't forget to thumb this video up and show me that you liked it. Until next time, bye bye.